What's good, YouTube? We're back today with another market watch, and it seems like if it's a hard to get card, it's just spiking. It's really insane. It's really weird. And the first is Duality Ultimate Rare. This one makes sense because it's going to be meta, but almost everything else in this market watch is not going to make sense to me besides one other card, which will be next. Duality Ulti is bought out, so true Dracos are coming out, and you play like Dualities, you play Card of Demise, you play a lot of the cards that actually can coincide with other decks in this meta, but I mean, not too many people are playing Chamber. It definitely has a high use, to the true Dracos, so a lot of people are going to be playing Duality. I guess somebody decided, well, it's time to buy all the ultis, and the only available one right now is about $44, $45, and then we see $49, completely sold out on TCG Player. So, if you have ulti Dualities, it's really hard to call because True Dracos will be one of the top decks, and they're going to be playing 3 of these probably. So, it's a bit rough of a estimate on where it's going to land after the fallout of the buyout. Will it keep going up? Will it stay around here? It's been around this price before. 50 is not the worst thing ever for a hollowed out version. As we see, I looked up the secret first. If you want a cheaper but nicer hollowed out version of the card, 1761, 1779, 18, you can get a set for 18 and under if you really want a hollowed out version. Lowest near mints on eBay, however, are a bit more. Do we even have a near mint in this first section? Moderate, light. And here is near mint right at the 20 mark. So, you know, a little more expensive TCG Player, like we've said, has been fighting back on eBay on prices a lot lately with their users. It's been really nice to see that they've been going that route and been able to, you know, push the competition to lower prices. But with these prices going so high, does the competition really matter? But I think this is a great price for First Ed Secret Duality for a card that at one point in its life hit all the way up to 150. You know, that's not too bad paying 18. That's almost the 10% mark of its height. So, well, you know, if you're hollowing out, I'd go with the secret for now. It'll probably go up soon considering the trend of Ultimate Duality, so it's not bad to consider. BlueEye Shining Dragon. Whew, what a price tag, right? Retro pack. So there's cheaper versions first off of this card, boys. Don't think this is the end all be all. But retro pack cards, always super expensive. And this retro pack 2 secret will run you $400 if you're coming to TCG Player. A lot cheaper on eBay, I believe. Let's see. We have one from Canada. I don't see that it says near mint here, though. Condition used. Not saying even near mint in the title. Wow. Unlimited edition in. Not saying near mint here either. New, brand new. It says new, unused here. So, the cheapest you can find today on market, guaranteed near mint, is $270 unless you are finding a private collector. Do we have to start saying like private collector? Like, is that gonna be a thing? Like, these people selling out here versus private collector? I guess you could go and look around websites, but I'm pretty sure almost every website is out of stock of this card. It's just an old, really hard to get card. And it looks real nice. I remember these used to be 30s, and we used to find them at 30s and, like, just get, you know, excited because people didn't know the value. So we would be like, hey, I'll buy that for 20. I made 10 bucks, real easy. Oh, if I could go back. But it's really, really, you know, actually cool to see that our cards have so much value sometimes. This price isn't as artificial as a lot of prices. This price has been earned over time. Like, you see the market price, $195. It's just hard to get, real nice looking. And people who have these have a really cool card if they are collecting. So, tell me down below if you're a collector, if you have this card and you're not letting it go because you're really proud of what you have, or if you do have it, you didn't know what you had and you're gonna sell it. I definitely didn't know. This is the only price that makes sense Well, actually, I lied. There's 3 cards that make sense, and then the rest kinda mess with me a little. Well, okay, I lied. There's another card that makes sense too. There's only 2 cards that don't really make sense during this market watch to me. Meister. This kind of makes sense. He always does this though. He always hits that $20 mark, then does nothing. That's why he didn't make too much sense to me. I mean, he's a good card. He's a hand trap from STBL, a secret from STBL, one of the hardest to get packs. During either player's turn, when a card effect is activated in your opponent's graveyard, you can send this card from the hand to the graveyard to negate the effect. Cards like Ghost Ash, remember, activate in the hand and resolve in the grave. So, I guess he can be okay. I just don't think he's that good. Time and time again, he just fails to do what he's supposed to do. He gets hyped and then he does nothing in the meta game. Tell me what you're going to use it for moving forward. If you were part of the, buyout, he was at $8. And if you have these, you might want to list these, in my opinion. Every single time he hits 20, he goes, I'm 20, and then, so I would definitely always sell out of Meister hype, in my opinion. He never performs. He's that guy who's like, yeah, bro, yeah, I am the hype, and then never performs. This one didn't make too much sense to me, but I guess it's just a quantity thing. But its norm was $6. We see all that's left are damaged ones. They don't even exist near mint on here. And then we see $25 for a first ed near mint on eBay for Skyscraper. The hero players, the hero collectors, the hero ultimates have always been worth a lot. Skyscraper hasn't, though. Skyscraper was pretty easy to get for a very long time. I remember it would end up in bulk. Like, this card would not be considered like anything. So let's go ahead. We're on best match still. Let's see what they're selling for. Played 13, sold moderately, play 8, 10. It's been up for a while, it looks like. Just really low quantities. First at near mint for 15. Buy it now though. So the price definitely is up. It's not like this was a all the sudden like, whew. And the sales are pretty low on it too, so either people pulled theirs or there just have not been that many. If you, for whatever reason, have been looking, is it just a low quantity thing and people didn't have new listings, it ran out of listings and this happened? It doesn't look like an actual buyout, at least from eBay. We can never tell with TCG Player. Usually cards like this are well stocked on TCG Player, so it's very weird to see. If you have yours, you can be the first near mint and kind of claim your price, probably at 25 as well. It's just one of those collector's cards that seems to have gone up. And I think it's really cool that, not for people wanting the cards, but for the game itself, to show like how much love and how much like we put into the game, that these prices are reflecting that. The popularity of the game is reflected by the prices. Because at the end of the day, the prices are what people are willing to spend. Thunder Seahorse is going up. We see market price $242 for the secret, and we see the lowest near mint here, $5, $6, 6, my bad, and then quickly rising. And these are on unlimited. Let's find the lowest first, shall we? I actually haven't gone and looked. Oh wow, low quantities. We've got 4 total sellers. This man's has 10 at or $6 for $10. I'm sorry, you just broke me. 6 quantities for $10. And then near mint games, Aaron Jarvis has 3 at 13. It looks like he was trying to set that new price bar, and then Adam Korn came in and gave him a wallop, huh? We got much cheaper on eBay, $3 on limb, before we get to 4 back in the average price, 5, and then it looks like our first ed also around the $10 mark. No, that's on limb. Our first ed at the $25 mark. So Adam Korn really destroying the market on the first. If we're not wrong here. First. Yep. Let's check out this listing. 1 minute. These listings are actually pretty legit. Thunder Seahorse. First edition. $8, 1 available, 16 sold. So this man just happens to have 1 at 8. So there is 1 at 8. This is not a lot listing. This is not like a fake listing. People do this in order to save like listing spaces, and they put all these cards together. They can be harder to find. So you can find the first ed for $8 cheapest. It's just kind of hidden. XX Saber Dark Soul, this also does not make any sense to me at all. I guess it's just that collector card, because the Ultras are 80 cents though. When one version of a hollowed out, usually those go to 4 to 5 when there's something relevant, right? Like Gothams, those kinds of cards that are old, they tend to go up. But $18, normal price, $3.69. The cheapest Unlim, about $20 and non-existent. There's only a playset. So this is a more recent buyout. It looks like just old cards are getting bought out and forced to go up sometimes, and other times it seems more natural. But Dark Soul definitely feels unnatural here, going from the 3 to the 20. Like, see, Skyscraper, I was giving it some plaque because it was at the 7 and went up, but it had sales on eBay over time, so it's been clocking up, and maybe it just hasn't been getting listings or something. But I don't know, because I haven't been watching that card. So if you've been watching, tell me. But I think it's just been a lack of listings and a lack of sales from the lack of listings. But Dark Soul definitely had listings, and he got jumped up real hard. So let's actually look at best. Excuse me. Our time ending soonest, and go to sold listing. In date recent first. Playsets at 12s a piece. Auctions for $3. $3. Man. So it looks like it did jump up to a mid price more recently. March 24th, they were at 10. So they were selling out at 10s sometimes, but there were some auctions to be had. And it looks like the sales prices are about 10s to 12s on this card. We do have a listing similar to that, but it's more now. It's like 15 a piece. But so it looks like we have proven sales at 10s to 12s, but it's still much, much more than it was. It seems like it has been a little bit over time, but it still seems forced almost. But the fact that there are sales, there are collectors willing to pay 12 a piece. Well, let me show you the Ultra here. This is why I don't get it. Saber, Dark Soul. I get that the people like this format. Rescue Cat, pop into Dark Souls. It's really fun. Ultra Near Mint. 85 cents. Does it make sense? Like, oops. Let me go back here real quick. Just, it does not make sense to me that you can find an Ultra at 85 cents. But the next tier mint actually is, okay, $1, some odd, some change. 10 used to be $1 and some change, but that's first ed. So it's just really interesting, the quantities. And then one up TCG with 3 playsets at $1.20. It doesn't make sense. I don't even think it's gonna follow, but it could. But if it does, it's just unnatural in my opinion. It's so crazy. Maybe you should get your Ultras now. I don't really advise it, but it doesn't make sense when one isn't following the other, because the Super is definitely the worst version, you know. Just so easy to get, 15 cents. So the mid usually follows to about, at worst, 1/4 of the hollowed out version, so I could see this climbing to $5. Thanks for watching Market Watch today, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. YouTube has been really harsh on ad revenue lately because $750 million of advertisement revenue has been pulled from YouTube from major companies. So it's a hard time for me. A lot of people have been supporting on the Patreon and the live streams. If you ever feel like you make something off of Market Watch, please get back on the Patreon. It would mean a bit. Like, if you just find this segment helps you a lot, let me know that you came from Market Watch if you do join. Links always down below. I know it's easy to ignore this part, but content creators are really going to be making a lot less for now than they were. Times are going to be rough, boys. Market Watch on Sean's ad revenue. Ouch.